Hello, good evening. Good evening. Let's talk about it. What's going on? Let's talk about what's going on. A lot is going on. A lot is going on. Hello, good afternoon. Good evening. Actually, it's almost 6 p.m. Okay, almost 5:25 p.m. Eastern time. Let's get right into it. How are you? How are you feeling? I was supposed to start my live sessions in December, but it's almost December. But we're still gonna be here in December talking about the latest immigration news. We have bad news and good news. At least we have some good news. Let's start with the bad news first. By the way, let me know. Where are you? Where are you watching me from? Let me know in the comment section. If you have a question, let me know in the comment section. If you want to ask your question live, let me know as well in the comment section. Let's get right into it. What is the first news? Okay. I'm gonna share my screen here so we can start with the first news. Okay. Mm, okay. So close this one. Better close. Okay. So Trump says he wants to permanently pause migration to the US from poor countries. Okay. So I guess because what happened, as you know, what happened, there was a shooting around the White House. So based on that, Trump decided to permanently, at least he wants to, right? Hasn't done yet, but he wants to permanently pause migration to the U.S. from poor countries. We want to talk about what are those countries that he is referring to. Okay. Trump says he wants to permanently pause migration from poor countries, and he's promising to seek to expel millions of immigrants from the United States by revoking their legal status. First, he wants to pause migration from people coming from poor countries, basically stopping people from entering the United States. Then he wants to revisit those green cards and revoke them. If you have a green card, they can revoke the status. He's blaming immigrants for problems from crime to housing shortages as part of social dysfunction in America and demanding reverse migration. Okay. What happened was a 29 years old Afghan national who worked with the CIA during the Afghanistan war is facing charges. The suspect came to the U.S. as part of a program to resettle those who had helped American troops after U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan. Okay. So technically, the guy has a status, but anyway, since the shooting not far from the White House, the administration officials have pledged to re-examine millions of legal immigrants, building a 10 month campaign to reduce the immigrant population. Yeah, so that's what Trump says. Okay. He says only reverse migration can fully cure the situation. He posted on his social platform. Okay, what are the country? We want to know what country is he referring to. Okay. I think I'm gonna. He pledged to terminate millions of admission to the country made during the term of Joe Biden. I want to see what are the country they're referring to. Okay. He Okay, what are the countries they're referring to? I'm going back. I'm going back to find out what are the country they are referring to. First of all, we have to know what country are we referring to. By the way, if you have a question, just please put it in the comment section. We have a lot of things to be sharing, okay? We're starting first with this pause on migration. Then we're going to talk about the green card that he's going to be re-examining some green cards. But we want to know what countries, okay? Let me double check again here. Yeah, let's see what country are they referring to here. I saw Haiti in the list. Um, Afghanistan, Haiti, but I really want to make sure I have the exact list. Um, okay, let's see. Let's see if we can find it from here. By the way, if you have a question, just please put it in the comment section, okay? We're gonna stay here at least for a couple minutes to discuss what's going on. But if you have questions, any question regarding immigration, please put it in the comment section, okay? Want to see what country are they talking about here. Okay, maybe see. Let's see the tracking policy here. Okay. First of all, the one thing we have to know, USCIS orders review of all refugees admitted under Biden administration. Anybody that was admitted under Biden administration, they're going to review their application. It has a review and report that it has reviewed an internal memo signed by USCIS director ordering review and re-interview. Like they're gonna review it and interview again for the second time all refugees admitted from January 20, 2021 to February 20, 2025. Oh my God. I'm going to share my screen. I just want to see the list of the country. List of country. Okay. Okay. So we have the full list here. See the full list. Okay, we have the full list here. Okay. Let me share my screen. Close. Yeah, let me share my screen here. So okay, let me share my screen first. Okay, this is the list of the country that Trump is referring to, right? When he's saying that he's going to stop migration from poor countries. Those are the countries that he's referring to: Afghanistan, Myanmar, which is Burma, Chad, Republic of the Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Yemen, Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela. Okay. And then a full suspension of entry now applies to nationals from Afghanistan, Myanmar, Chad, the Republic of Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, uh, Sudan, and Yemen. Partial restrictions is for Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela, with tightened visa criteria and limited direction. So this is the list. Okay, full list of country facing green card reviews. They're gonna review the green card of those particular individuals from those countries. That's one of the bad news. And not to mention, there's another news that says that this says that Reuters reports that it has been reviewed, that it has reviewed an internal memo signed by the USCIS director, okay, ordering review and re-interview, like interview for the second time, of all refugees admitted from January 2021 to February 2025. They're going to review their file and interview them for the second time. The memo requires terminating the refugee status of anyone found not to meet refugee criteria. It also states that when appropriate, USCIS will also review and re-interview refugee admitted outside of this time frame. Even those who were admitted outside of this time frame, they can re-interview them. In addition, USCIS will immediately stop processing all applications for lawful permanent residence from refugee admitted under the Biden administration, which it claimed prioritized expenditure, quantity, and admission over detailed screening vetting. So green card application for people who enter as refugee under Biden time is has been suspended. Okay. That's a bad news, right? What else? Okay. So what are you saying here? I know you don't have all the detail yet, but when he said ban on all third world country, does it mean all of Africa? No, I don't think so. The list of the countries that he was talking about, that's the list those are the countries we just cited. The countries that he was referring to. We were just citing those countries, right? That's the country. Those are the countries he was. It's like 13 countries, right? In total. Yeah. So what else we have here? Um, okay. What else we have here? I'm trying to find another news here. Okay. And another news, Trump administration plans to review refugee admitted under Biden. Yeah, that's we already talked about. What else we have here? Okay, hold on. Let me pull another news here. Oh my God, it's a lot. Trump administration moves to resume sharing Medicaid uh, data with ICE. What they're trying to say, they're trying to talk about public charge, and they're trying to pretty much extend the policy. Let's say the child or somebody else in the family took public benefits, uh, might weight against them. They might consider that as a negative factor. Um, And the good news, oh, hold on. Let me just share it again. This one. Let me try to see if I can share this one. And then, hold on. I'm coming. Hold on. Okay. So let me share my screen so we can dive into those other news. By the way, please share, please like, please share, please like. We have a lot to discuss. Have a lot to discuss. Okay, so this one, let me see. Okay. U.S. suspend immigration request for Afghans after National Guard shooting. This almost what we talked about here, right? The U.S. has suspended processing all immigration requests for Afghan national. All immigration requests for Afghan national has been suspended. So basically, if you have an application pending and you happen to be a national from Afghanistan, as of today, the application will be on pause. Okay, after an Afghan man was identified as the suspect in the shooting of two National Guard soldiers near the White House. The U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services said the decision was made pending a review of security and vetting protocols. The suspect, yeah. So basically, what they're saying, suspending it because they want to review security and vetting protocol. Okay, the suspect of Wednesday shooting, which left two National Guard members critically injured, is said to have arrived in the U.S. from Afghanistan in September 2021. That's the person who did that. So because of him, that's why they suspended all immigration application for Afghan national. Okay, that's number one. That's like number two news. Let's see this one. Judge halts IRS sharing of taxpayer info to immigration crackdown. This is at least is a good news because what they're saying here is that a federal judge on Friday barred the IRS from sharing tax return information that immigration officials aim to use to deport undocumented immigrants. Remember that they at some point the Trump administration said that they're going to use IRS tax information in order to determine who has been here, uh, who has no legal status for the purpose of deportation, so they can get the addresses of the individual, so they can track down undocumented immigrants for the purpose of deportation. That's what was said, and people sue as usual, right? And then a federal judge Friday bar the IRS from that was like I believe it was of last Friday. It barred the IRS from sharing tax return information, so the IRS cannot share this information with federal immigration agencies, which is a good news, at least for now. Okay. You know, from context, on August 7, under a controversial agreement between Basent and Homeland Security, the IRS disclosed confidential address information for about 47,000 taxpayers to ICE to aid in the Trump administration deportation agenda. just what I was saying. So they had an agreement with IRS so that IRS can release the tax information so that um, ICE, or the Department of Homeland, will have the addresses for individuals who happen to be undocumented so they can track them down for the purpose of deportation. But now the federal judge is halting that. They can't continue releasing it. They made a stop on it, which is great news. At least one of the great news we have so far. Okay. Moving on. Um, this is bad. Border Patrol is monitoring U.S. drivers and detaining those with suspicious driver patterns. Okay. It's monitoring millions of American drivers nationwide in a secretive program to identify and detain people whose travel patterns is deemed suspicious. The predictive intelligence program has resulted in people being stopped, searched, and in some cases arrested. A network of cameras scan and record vehicle license plate information and flag vehicles deemed suspicious based on where they came from, what they were doing, and which route they took. Federal agent in turn may then flag local law enforcement. So basically, they do when they're patrolling the streets. Uh, if they find that this person has some type of suspicious activities as far as driving patterns are concerned, they're gonna flag the car and then get arrested. Yeah, so that's pretty bad. I mean, when you're driving, if you just know that your all your documents are not correct, don't be driving, because somebody got arrested here in DC with a suspended license. I was just like, you know what? Your license has been suspended. You haven't paid the fine, and you haven't like, why are you driving with a suspended license? That's just like, you can't do that. Got arrested, placed under ICE custody. Asylum was pending with USCIS. You know, when you get arrested for traffic violations or for any type of crime, even if the case is pending with USCIS, the moment you get arrested and placed under ICE custody, USCIS loses jurisdiction. Then your case gets transferred to the immigration court. That's it. Now he's fighting for the bond hearing. Hopefully, he wins. You know, but that was just his own mistake that led to the arrest. That's why I'm talking about this news, to make sure that if you don't have a driver license, don't be driving. License has been suspended, don't be driving. It's just like common sense, to be honest. But some people just, I don't know. Anyway, so the other news is this one I already talked about it. Federal judge expand access to bond hearing for detained immigrants nationwide. But some judges are fighting it, like in Texas, talking about the decision is not binding to them. But anyway, this is a good decision. I talked about it in my last video, just refer back to it. Simply means that there's a bond hearing for a certain individual, even though they enter in the United States without inspection, which is good news. What else we have here? Yeah, for now, this is, yeah, we talked about a lot of things. Yeah, do we have questions? Do we have questions? We talked about a lot of things. Do we have questions so we can either stop or continue? We talked about a lot of things. Just to recap, um, all applications for immigration benefits for Afghan nationals, as of now, all their petitions are suspended until further notice for vetting and security purposes. Okay, their applications have been suspended. Nobody's gonna like look into their application until further notice. Okay, that's number one. Number two, Trump is promising to permanently bar migration from certain countries. We cited those countries here. The full list is online. They're talking about Afghanistan, Myanmar, Chad, Republic of the Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Yemen, Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela. So he's planning that. It's not official yet, but that's the plan. But you know, this country has already been in, some have been in restrictions, some have partial restriction as far as the ban is concerned. Now he's just planning to stop it altogether, the migration, um, and review all green cards for those individuals. Not to mention, they're reviewing too all refugees legal status, those who enter under Biden administration. They're going to review their petition and they might get a second interview and they might even extend it to other refugees as well for the claiming security and vetting processes. I'm going to review those previous green card applications for refugees that came under the Biden program. What is patrol is the Border Patrol is flagging cars or drivers that have suspicious driving patterns for the purpose of immigration, right? Not to mention, we have another news that this is at least good news. The federal judge helped IRS from providing information to federal immigration agencies. That's good. And then we have the bond hearing, the one that I talked about yesterday. You can just refer back to my video from yesterday. So those are the news. Pretty much that's what's going on as of now. What else? Yeah, we talked about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 news. Let me see if I'll find something else. If you have a question, please put it in the comment section. TPS for Burma has been terminated, effective January 26, 2026. TPS for Haiti terminated, effective February 3rd, 2026. What else we have here? USCIS to review approval and immediately pause lawful permanent application for refugees admitted from January 21st, 2021 to February 20th, 2025. All the refugees that enter under the Biden administration, their application, the green card application has, they're going to review their approval, and first of all for the refugee status, then they're going to pause the lawful permanent resident applications, and they can actually re-interview them for the second time. Okay. Yeah, that's sad. Let's see what we have here. Yeah, so those are the news. I think, yeah, this is the main one, is that the Trump administration plan to review the Biden era refugee status. They're gonna review that refugee status, re-interview people, and pause their green card applications. The only two good news we have here is the bond hearing. Right to the bond hearing. I made it. Refer back to my previous video from yesterday. Then another good news is that a federal judge stopped IRS from providing information to federal immigration agency. Those are the only two great news we have. Besides that, all that is bad. Let's see who's talking here. Can I just mind with can I just studies with removal under 245I? If you have 245I, you still have to reopen the case. If you have been granted removal, sorry, if you've been granted withholding of removal, and now you want to just status under 245I because of you are a home caregiver, whatever, or with your mother who was a U.S. citizen but passed away in 2022, and you happen to be adult, remember you still have to, you need 245I in order to be able to adjust status. Not 245A, it's not going to work. 245I, you need to refer back to my previous video because 245I, we have to explain it again. But if you just Google me here, it's going to explain to you what 245I means. But still, regardless, you still have to reopen your case. Removal withholding simply means that you're still in removal. They just withheld the deportation process. So you still have to reopen the old case in order to be able to adjust status. Unless you happen to be a arriving alien, right? Then we can try directly with USCIS and hope they don't give you a hard time. By the way, now Home TV One, you need a consultation because your case looks like you. If you have 245I, watch my video first. If you feel like you meet the requirement for 245I, then you can schedule a consultation so we can talk about, especially if you're arriving alien. So this is my consultation link here. F2B, how long your case. You need to go to the visa bulletin. Let's see, visa bulletin. Let's just see what they're saying for December. F2B 2020. F2B. Yeah, right now they're doing date of filing. Right now they're working on March 8th, anything that came before March 8th, 2017. And yours was in 2020. So 2017, if you calculate 2018, 19, 20, almost 3 years for the visa to become available. Almost 3 years. Yeah. Because right now they're working on 2017. So they can take application for 2017. So almost 3 years. 3. Okay. What else? Now Home TV. You should schedule consultation links in my bio. What else we have here? Yeah, we talked about pretty much everything, right? So if you just got here and you miss it, you can start from the beginning. Other than that, we pretty much covered everything that's going on. We come back next week. Hopefully, we'll have more detail and from this administration pausing all the green card. We'll come back next week. They're talking only about asylum cases. That those are the cases that are being reviewed, and some of them are already paused. Asylum, the refugee program. So those are the cases that they're going to review. Okay. They didn't talk about the DV lottery. Only asylum, refugee program. What else? Came in 20. I came in 2022. My family applied for me when I was 17, and now I am in the withholding of removal. So they hope I can just 245I. If you're an adult, yes, that's the simple answer is yes. 245I because you're already adult. They should have adjusted your status when you were under the age of 21. Now you're already an adult. So yeah, the simple answer is yes, 245I. Yeah, your answer is yes. The answer is yes, through 245I. Yes. My interview ended with a verbal approval at USCIS field office, called not here even after 3. Oh, you need to call them. You really need to call them and let them know you've been waiting for the call for 3 months. As a matter of fact, you should just involve your congressman to help you out. So yeah, the simple answer is yes. Okay. Yeah, Naomi TV. If you qualify under, first of all, go watch my 245I video. Watch it first. If you qualify under 245I, then schedule a consultation. Okay. Then we can talk about what we can do, especially if you're arriving alien. Okay. What to do? My husband is abusive, but you already got your green card. What do you mean your husband is abusive? Didn't you already got your green card approved? You're just waiting for it to come to the mail. Yeah, you can just, if you want it to be, you can change the address so they can send it to a different address, but you still have to contact them to find out why it has been 3 months. The green card hasn't come here. Okay. My car is not. That's why you need to call them. You need to call USCIS. You need to get your congressman involved in finding out why you haven't received your green card. 3 months, that's too long after the interview already, and they already approved it. That's what you said, all right? When you check your status online, what does it say? Approve? or say pending? Does it say approve? If it doesn't say approve, then you just have to wait. You have to wait at least, USCIS has at least 120 days to decide after the interview. Especially for green card, they might even have up to 180 days. 120 days is only for naturalization. After the interview, they have only 120 days to decide for naturalization. Then they have 180 days, which is 6 months, to decide for other petition like green card, asylum, and all that. So if the status says pending, you just wait because they're still within the time frame. You can email them or call them, but it's not going to do anything. But if it says approve and you don't see the green card, then we have a problem. Yeah, all I says interview completed doesn't say, or if it doesn't say approve, just wait. They have up to 6 months. Yeah, they're still within their time. After 6 months, they have until 6 months to decide on a case after the interview for the green card and other petitions. For citizenship, they only have 4 months, 120 days. For the green card and other petition, they have up to 6 months. So they're still within the time frame. Maybe that's why they don't care at this point. But you can always reach out to find out. You can always reach out, but just know that they're still within the time frame. That's why. That's the reason why they haven't responded. But you can, you can call them, or yeah, you can call them, find out. But they're not really going to give you like a satisfactory answer. But it doesn't mean you don't have to call. You can call, maybe you find somebody who's nice and they can explain to you why it's taking too long. Okay. Okay, that's it. We talked about the latest immigration news. If you miss anything, please, this is very important news. If you miss anything, just watch from the beginning, and please like, please share. Please like, please share. Okay. This is very important news. You don't have to miss it. You can share it with somebody's in removal proceedings or who has refugee status, stuff like that. Just please share it. It's important news. If you miss anything, please watch from the beginning. Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you very much for showing. Marta Harley, 325. Thank you very much. Now Home TV 1. Thank you very much. Okay. What else? That's it. This is it. Thank you. We'll come back again next week. Because in December we'll do a lot of live sessions. If your situation hasn't changed next month, you just come and we might show you how to follow up online to congressmen and stuff like that. Okay. You just have to come to the live session. Martha Haley, 325. Just come to the live section next month if your situation hasn't changed. Now, Home TV 1, watch 245i video. If you qualify, schedule consultation. Okay. Who else is here? Okay. Thank you very much. Until next time. Bye bye. Thank you.